Welcome to A Superconscious Leader. The show is in association with ASQ Lean Enterprise Division and the ASQ Innovation Division. I'm your host, Dr. Adil Dalal. Here's what I have learned with leaders across 5 continents. Lean teaches us how to optimize, and innovation teaches us how to create. But superconscious leadership teaches us who we must be in order to lead through both of these. So here's my honest truth. The greatest innovations emerge from calm, clarity, but not chaos. So the deepest operational excellence comes from leaders who are awake, aligned, and purposeful. That is your superconscious state. So within each episode, we explore how exceptional leaders integrate 3 powerful disciplines: the discipline of lean, the courage of innovation, and the wisdom of superconscious leadership. We'll discover how operational excellence and creative vision aren't competing forces, they are complementing powers. So whether you're optimizing processes, launching bold ideas, or trying to lead with deeper awareness and purpose, you'll find very practical tools and inspirations right here. So this is excellence in motion for superconscious leaders. Let's awaken and transform together. So let me introduce some very special guests we have today. We have Mr. Al-Yami. He's a quality manager at Aramco Asia Korea with 15 plus years of experience in Saudi Aramco mega projects across Asia Pacific region. A patent holder and published author, he holds a master's in civil engineering from University of Florida and is currently pursuing a PhD at Seoul National University in sustainable construction materials. So welcome, Mr. Ali. Really a pleasure to have you here. Mr. Muhammed Lutfallah, he is the head engineering and technical services and deputy managing director at Aramco Asia, Japan, with 17 plus years across Saudi Aramco's central engineering, capital projects, and operating facilities. He holds a master's in oil and gas surface facilities and 6 international certifications related to quality management. And finally, so Mr. Muhammad, welcome to the show. Ms. Jinmi Jung is a quality engineer at Aramco Asia Korea with 15 plus years in supplier quality management, risk mitigation, and inspection coordination for major capital and joint venture projects. An IRCA certified ISO lead auditor. She holds several certifications and is currently pursuing an MBA in business analytics. So Ms. Jinmi, welcome to the show. Now, what is special about these guests is together they've authored a primer called the Lean Integrated Quality Auditing Framework that was recently published by ASQ's Lean Enterprise Division. So let us give a warm welcome to our guests, Mr. Ali, Mr. Muhammad, and Ms. Jinmi. Welcome to A Superconscious Leader, jointly hosted by ASQ's Lean Enterprise Division and the Innovation Division. So welcome. So let's begin with some very interesting knowledge you have shared in this primer regarding the illusion of compliance and why quality auditing is broken. So let's jump in immediately with the first question. In the title of this primer, you ask a very important question. Why perfect paperwork doesn't guarantee quality? That's a very provocative question for an ISO-aligned publication that relies on detailed documentation. So please walk us through the moment, the real-world experience that made you truly believe that paperwork is not the only answer to building quality.
So first of all, good morning, Dr. Adil and everyone. We are currently connecting from Korea, South Korea, and we are all like quality ambassadors in every nation, either in the Western region of the earth or in the Eastern region of the earth. So it's a pleasure to connect with you this morning from South Korea. And To answer this question, honestly, across my career, like a common pattern across across mega projects is that strong audit results are achieved, followed by like important lessons and improvements once operations move into like full production. So you can realize the processes, how are they being implemented and operated. So in general, the gap is the iceberg of like quality compliance. Usually above the waterline are the visible artifacts, the ISO 9001 certificate, the manuals, the safety operating procedures, and they look flawless on conference room table. However, below it sits the operational reality, execution discipline, operator competencies, and the material flow as well, in addition to the process stability. So a certificate tells you what a company claims to do, not whether it can execute under a tight schedule, under like aggressive environment, like different like operation conditions. So once you go and see the perfect paperwork can sit on top of the completely unstable process, you stop trusting the binder as a sign of like the real capability.
Correct. Excellent explanation, and thank you for sharing that. It's a very, very important point, and it distinguishes you guys from, other people who talk about audits. So thank you for sharing that. Let me jump in with the second question is, in the primer, you describe what you call as a conference room trap, where auditors spend 80% of the time reviewing binders instead of walking the shop floor of the Gemba. So how did the global quality profession end up in this situation where everyone is more in the conference room than on the Gemba? And what does it cost the organizations in real cash, in real dollars?
Good morning, Doctor. And first of all, thank you for the introduction and the warm welcome from Japan. You just allow me to provide my insight for this question. Okay. Audits are drifted into conference room. We know for understandable reason. Where documents are easy to review and they make everyone comfortable. But the trap is that we end up with auditing the document instead of the process of performance. Good records show what a process is supposed to do. They rarely show how the process is consistently performing actually on the ground in the real condition. A supplier can have an excellent procedure and still struggle with traceability, process control, or execution in the real condition. And that surfaces later as rework, complaint, warranty claim, or delay. And the costs of this issue on the project are very massive. And that's the real cost of poor quality. And Gemba Central Audit catch it before it become expensive.
Very true. Very well said. Gemba centered. I love the word what you're using. By the way, Mr. Muhammad, where are you joining us from? Are you in South Korea too?
No, from Japan.
Japan. What part of Japan are you in?
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Okay. What an international crowd. And as you know, I'm in Austin, Texas, US. So, wow, we're all over the world. Fantastic. That is the power of, what's that?
We are going from far east, far west.
Exactly. See, internet is kind of, if you look at Maslow's theorem, correct? He talked about the physiological needs all the way up, but today the bottom line needs is Wi-Fi. Without Wi-Fi, we cannot connect with the world. So, but thank you. Let me jump on to another question is, when I read this primer, the one thing which caught with me is a case study of the generalists versus the specialists. That is remarkable. The suppliers with flawless paperwork was the riskier choice in that case study. How did your team nearly make that wrong decision? And what does that say about the systems quality professionals are being asked to operate within today?
Dr. Adil, thank you for having us today. To answer this question, at first, based on the documentation, the distance seems very straightforward because the supplier A generally had the excellent and beautiful documentation and would like to have passed any traditional audit. But once we went to the Gamma site, we saw the gap in process familiarity and operational consistency. And for the specialist, let's say the supplier B had less published manual and missing more documentation, but they have a strong experience and a stable execution. So their operator equipment and execution are much more aligned with our requirement. So that experience, what I learned is documentation show intent, but the operational capability is reviewed at the Gemba.
Very true. Excellent point. And, this is where I think the difference between waterfall project management, agile, right? In agile, one of the manifesto is that less paperwork, more execution. And that is what you guys are also proposing for audits. And personally, having been through a lot of audits, I see a lot of wisdom in this. So thank you very much, Ms. Jinmi. So thank you to our guests for a very impressive knowledge share. We will be right back when we discuss the new paradigm of lean integrated framework. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Imagine partnering with a firm that fuses lean precision with AI foresight, turning every process into a profit engine built on the foundation of operational excellence. Hi, I am Dr. Adil Dalal, founder and CEO of Pinnacle Process Solutions. For 20 years, we have empowered over 9,500 leaders across 25 industries and 5 continents and delivered savings from $1 million to $39 million via rapid transformations using AI, digital tools, lean, agile, and Six Sigma technology. Through our award-winning workshops, lean AI frameworks, and human-centric coaching, we elevate culture, eliminate waste, and ignite sustainable operational excellence. Elevate your people, accelerate your performance. Visit pinnacleprocess.com and reach your pinnacle today. In association with ASQ's Lean Division and the Innovative Division. So let's jump in and ask the questions regarding the Lean Integrated Framework, a new paradigm, which is based on the primer with the same name. So let's go in and ask about the framework. Introduces a 3-stage model, a pre-screening, a desk review, and on-site Gemba evaluation. You're essentially redesigning the audit value stream as we know it, right? Apex and others who talk about a completely different model. So how does lean practitioner look at an audit process and say, this is a new value stream? And, how do we remove the waste from it? So anyone wants to take that?
Yeah, Dr. Adil, I think, Dr. Adil, so I think you are navigating into the heart of our newly published primer. So the lean integrated framework, mainly, if we talk about lean treats, the lean treats any process as a value stream. Mm-hmm. And it makes it where value is created, where waste could hide. So turn that lens on a traditional audit, okay, where you can navigate and maybe dig more, and you can see the non-value added efforts is everywhere. So mapped against the 7 wastes or like MUDA, you can see overprocessing when auditors review the same document repeatedly and repeatedly. So waiting when the audit stalls for missing data or unavailable people and like inventory when like factories or suppliers pile up hundreds of just in case documents. So in case I need this or I need this, so that's sort of waste. So almost all of it like comes from trying to review documentation on site. So what we did, our mechanism or our proposal is to redesign the value stream into 3 stages. First of all is pre-screening, followed by disk review, which happened before visiting the site. And then after that, we do on-site GIMBA, which means real activity observation as a physical like assessment. So this GIMBA evaluation focuses entirely on observing real execution. And then at the end, the auditor stops being a document inspector. So, and however, he will become an operator.
Excellent. Very true.
Yeah.
This is a perfect primer for both the lean division as well as innovation, because what you guys have done is innovated audit process with the lean, principles. So it's an extremely powerful model, and I think even 10 years from now, people will be looking at it and saying, "Hey, let's probably, hopefully, people are actually following this in every audit they do." So thank you very much for sharing this. So let me ask about the 70-30 paradigm. We've all heard about 80-20. You talk about 70-30 paradigm shift in the heart of your framework, spending 70% of the audit time at the Gemba rather than in the conference room. So it comes back to the conference room trap question. But why do organizations resist this? Suppliers try to keep auditors and presentations. Auditors find documentation reviews safe. And how do you enforce this shift in practice, especially across cultures in Asia Pacific region and globally, if I may? So if you can answer this, it will be very helpful for our viewers.
I will take this.
Sure, Mr. Muhammad, go ahead.
So, actually, enforcing the 70-30 shift start before anyone walks the floor, because stage 1, confirm basic readiness, and then stage 2, review the document remotely, usually 2 to 3 weeks ahead of the site visit. And there is no reason to reread manual again on the site. Also, we make it very explicit with the 30-minute rule, where the opening meeting is capped at 15 to 30 minutes for safety, introduction, and agenda. Then we move to GIMBA. And at most, 30% of the on-site time is reserved for essential meeting or authenticating a sensitive document. And at least 70% is for absorbing the real value stream on the ground.
Excellent.
And the piece of culture is real. Working in Japan taught me that organization managing audit through a presentation can feel they are losing control when you move quickly to the floor. And the answer is preparation and transparent communication. Tell the supplier in advance that audit, prioritize GIMBA, and frame it as a respect for their work, for their operator works, and not distrust.
Very good. Excellent. What a great point. And, I've done audits for several years in my career. And for some reason, I've always been preferred to go in the Gemba. So what you're saying, I've actually lived it. And, walking the floor, looking at the training records, talking sometimes with permission, talking to a few people, I've gained so much information rather than just sitting in the conference room. So I personally can vouch for what you are saying and totally agree with it. So thank you for sharing that. So you introduced the concept of Gemba triangulation, very, very nice word, that is verifying alignment among operator, machine, and standard. As someone trained in both Lean and ISO 9001 risk-based thinking, what do you actually see when you do a triangulation walk that traditional auditors would completely miss? Whoever wants to take that question, please.
Let me take this answer.
Okay.
This question. And what we see the Gemma is often different from what we see in documentation. So Gemma triangulation, it means checking the operator and machine and the standard together. So we observe the work, compare it with the procedure, and talk to the operator about the key requirement, how they respond to the program. So traditional auditor may just see the training record and assume everything is fine. But at the Gemma, you can see whether the process is actually followed, implemented properly. So I've seen the many cases where the operator completed the full training, but they didn't know what to do in the unexpected situation. So this gap is where many qualities begin. So documentation show what should happen, but Gemma showed what actually happened. And that difference is often where is the real risk lies.
Beautifully said. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much to our guests for an amazing discussion. We'll be right back where we will discuss the global implications of reliable and resilient supply chains. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to A Superconscious Leader in association with ASQ's Lean Division and Innovation Division. We are here to discuss the primer on the Lean audit, and we have some amazing guests with us, Mr. Ali, Mr. Muhammed, and Ms. Jinmi. Guys, before we go ahead, is there a place where people can contact you if they have questions, or should we post your details when we post this? So if there's any website you want them to visit or anything you want to know, just let us know and we can post that for you guys so people can get in touch with you for future questions. Okay, so let's discuss the global implications of supply chain resilience. So industrial transformation programs around the world are diversifying economies, localizing the supply chains, and building world-class smart manufacturing capabilities. How does Lean integrated auditing framework directly serve those industrial ambitions?
So, yeah,
Go ahead, Mr. Ali.
if you allow me, Dr. Adil, so if we need to elaborate in the global implications, mainly related to the supply chain resilience. Okay, building world-class industrial capability is the goal, and you cannot localize supply chain on the strength of paperwork. So to qualify like suppliers the traditional way, and you risk certifying organizations that look capable on paper cannot deliver once production starts. So this is the opposite of the resilience. So the Lean integrated framework like mainly qualifies on demonstrated operational capability and not basically the documentation volume. As you stand up new manufacturing at scale, the three tier logic, that's procurement and quality, make faster risk-based decisions and approve suppliers with robust system. So conditionally approve those with containable gaps while corrective action and preventive action clauses. And this will stop the ones carrying systematic risk before they enter critical supply chain. So in practice, the suppliers that sustain long-term manufacturing growth are often the focused specialists. Paperwork first audit overlaps. Finding and developing them is, in practice, an industrial capability engine.
Very well said. Thank you very much, Mr. Ali. So when organizations talk about supply chain resilience, especially after COVID, after the Suez Canal blockage, after the semiconductor shortages, which we all have seen throughout the globe, they often mean inventory buffers and dual sourcing. But you're arguing that a deeper resilience problem is that the approved suppliers who couldn't actually deliver. So how does lean audit model change the whole supply chain risk posture at a fundamental level?
This is excellent question. Since with every crisis, the supply chain resilience is acting as the first line of defense. And most discussion about supply chain resilience focus on buffer or having a backup supplier. But these only help with the risk that you can predict, where the issue is bigger and deeper. Where sometimes organization approve supplier that were never truly capable to begin with, and no amount of extra stock can fix that. A lean audit changed this by asking a different question during the supplier qualification. Instead of asking, do they have the right procedure? It asks, can they actually perform reliably in real conditions? And the traditional scoring system can hide a serious problem by averaging a result. For example, a supplier might score very high on documentation, but very low in traceability, yet still the supplier will pass as an overall. And this means that you could approve a supplier that cannot manage something critical like a product recall. And our approach avoids this by focusing on the highest level of risk observed on the ground, not the average score.
I see.
So if there is even one critical weaknesses, such as being unable to trace a finished product back to its source, the supplier is not approved, no matter how good the paperwork looks. In simple terms, for leadership, the approach help you avoid discovering weakest supplier during a crisis, like a recall.
Correct. Thank you. Very, very, very insightful. So thank you, Mr. Ali, Mr. Muhammad, and Ms. Jinmi for sharing your insights. And in the next section, we will discuss a topic that I have written a book about, the Lean AI. So let's discuss the AI frontier and the Lean AI integration in the quality auditing world. So do not go anywhere. We'll be right back on A Superconscious Leader. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Imagine partnering with a firm that fuses lean precision with AI foresight, turning every process into a profit engine built on the foundation of operational excellence. Hi, I am Dr. Adil Dalal, founder and CEO of Pinnacle Process Solutions. For 20 years, we have empowered over 9,500 leaders across 25 industries and 5 continents, and delivered savings from $1 million to $39 million via rapid transformations using AI, digital tools, lean, agile, and Six Sigma technology. Through our award-winning workshops, lean AI frameworks, and human-centric coaching, we elevate culture, eliminate waste, and ignite sustainable operational excellence. Elevate your people, accelerate your performance. Visit pinnacleprocess.com and reach your pinnacle today. Welcome back to A Superconscious Leader. We're here with Mr. Muhammad, Mr. Ali, and Ms. Jinmi. And right now we'll be talking about the AI frontier, the lean AI integration in quality auditing. So let me ask you this question: is your framework was built on lean principles and the human Gemba observation, but AI is now entering every corner of operations. That's, I've written in my book, the whole book is about how to integrate that. So you're talking about computer vision on the shop floor, predictive quality analytics, AI-powered document analysis. Where does AI fit into the lean integrated auditing framework, and where does it dangerously not fit?
Okay, so to elaborate more and talk about the AI, mainly the AI works very well on the information and document side of an audit. It can review control plans and CAPA histories, flag potential risk, and help us prepare for a site visit much faster. And computer vision and predictive analytics can track trends between visits. From what I have seen in practice, I'm frankly optimistic about this. However, AI should not replace Gemba observation and human judgment. So AI can get us to Gemba faster. It cannot give us where we learn there. However, it should support the auditor, not replace the auditor.
Mr. Ali, thank you for sharing that. Very insightful. Now, let's imagine an AI system that can read a supplier's PFMEA, control plan, and CAPA history overnight and produce a Sage 2 deck review in minutes. That could dramatically reduce audit preparation time. But your framework argues that the Gemba observation cannot be replaced. So is AI a lean tool eliminating administrative muda, or a risk potentially giving organizations a new version of paperwork illusion?
Dr. Adil, I can take this. Actually, this subject will continue to be a debate. And it can be both a helpful tool or a risk, depending on how it is used. AI become a lean tool when it removes unnecessary administrative work. For example, it can quickly review documents, saving time, and allowing auditor to spend more time on the shop floor, where the real work happens. And this supports the idea of focusing on actual process observation, not just the paperwork. However, there is also a risk where AI can create very polished and complete report that make everything look correct on the paper, even if the real process is not working properly on the floor. And this can lead to a false sense of compliance, where the documents look perfect, but the reality is different. So the key rule must remain: AI can confirm what is written. Only Gemba can verify what actually happens. So in short, AI is a useful tool for reducing waste in documentation, but we must be careful not to rely on it so much that we lose a real-world validation. So the tool itself is lean, but how we use it, it can create illusion.
Excellent. Very well said. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. So here, each of you brings a unique combination of operational quality, technology, and data-driven decision-making. What does a quality auditor of the future look like, and what skills must they build today? If you can answer in very brief words, what is your vision? So go ahead, please. Anyone wants to jump in?
Let me start first. For me,
Sure.
the biggest change is being comfortable with data. So one thing I have learned is that data allows us to focus now on intention. So where risk is most likely exist. So my MBA study in the business analytics reinforced that idea. When we use the analytics and the AI to identify the risk and decide where to focus before we visit. So audit planning gets much sharper. The future auditor will use the data to get the gemba faster and not to avoid the gemba. That's the first skill I would encourage the future auditor. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Anyone
Also,
else?
if you allow me, Dr. Adil, to
Sure.
provide my insight from my experience in engineering and inspection, one skill will always remain important, which is understanding the real work on the ground, which is gimbal. Data tell you where to look, but judgment tells you what you are seeing. And the future audit has to be fluent in both and able to translate operational risk into language so that both procurement and quality can act on together to address these risks.
Excellent point. Thank you.
So I second both Ms. Jinni and Mr. Muhammad, and from my perspective, from a large scale industrial project perspective, digital inspection technologies have changed what is even observable on a site. So the future auditor is a risk advisor, not, let's say, call him a scorekeeper, someone who pairs those tools with the discipline of auditor standard work, so conclusions stay consistent and defensible. Build the technical fluency, but never let it pull you away from the shop floor.
Excellent, excellent points, all three of you, for sharing this. Very amazing insights into a very important topic of the current topic of AI. So as we close, do you guys have any other final words to say? Anything to add to what we have discussed? Anything we may have missed?
Allow me, Dr. Ali, to extend our appreciation to you and the entire ASQ community.
Yeah.
I think this collaboration between the globally recognized quality community and industry will add value to the quality of professional and to us as industry as well. And we would like to thank you and thank also the ASQ team that help us in publishing this premiere to make it available for our colleagues in the industry.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And it was definitely a team effort. And you guys did all the heavy lifting by writing it. So thank you.
So again, I would like to thank you again, Dr. Adil, and all ASQ members, starting from you as a chairman of the Lean Division. We extend our thanks as well to the reviewers who added valuable comments to our primer to escalate or elevate the level of our outputs. So as mentioned by Mr. Muhammad, it's a great opportunity to link the industry with what's going on in the field and in the real practical life. So thank you again, and looking forward to have more collaboration in the future and to do great achievements. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and welcome to our division, Mr. Ali. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other words, Ms. Jinmi?
I truly appreciate you inviting us today and all the support you provide, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jinmi. So in closing, we've had this amazing guests who have really created a model of innovation and lean and superconscious leadership, because this is taking us to the next level. So world-class quality is not found in the binder in a conference room. It is built, observed, and validated exactly where value is created. On the shop floor, that is the Gemba. Our guests today are building the framework that will take quality auditing beyond the paperwork towards performance. So thank you, all three of you. And to my viewers, thank you for joining us on A Superconscious Leader, where we discussed excellence in motion for quality leaders. As you leave today, sit with this question: what would I accomplish if I led from my superconscious state with both lean precision and innovative courage? This is the leader the world needs right now. This is the need of the day. This is what the globe needs, our superconscious leaders. So this is the leader you already are. That's what you don't know, that you already have it in you. It's just waiting to be awakened. And the show is allowing you to do that. So I invite you to connect with the Superconscious Leader, with the ASQ Lean Enterprise Division, and with the ASQ Innovation Division, and explore how superconscious leaders can transform this planet. So join our community of leaders committed to operational excellence, breakthrough innovation, and conscious leadership. Subscribe, share this episode, and let's elevate together. Remember, excellence in motion requires a leader in motion, continuously improving, courageously creating, and consciously leading. I'm Dr. Adil Dalal, host of A Superconscious Leader, and this is Excellence in Motion from the podcast A Superconscious Leader. Until next time, lead with clarity, innovate with courage, and remember, you are more than you can ever imagine. Thank you very much. Imagine partnering with a firm that fuses lean precision with AI foresight, turning every process into a profit engine built on the foundation of operational excellence. Hi, I am Dr. Adil Dalal, founder and CEO of Pinnacle Process Solutions. For 20 years, we have empowered over 9,500 leaders across 25 industries and 5 continents and delivered savings from $1 million to $39 million via rapid transformations using AI, digital tools, lean, agile, and Six Sigma technologies. Through our award-winning workshops, lean AI frameworks, and human-centric coaching, we elevate culture, eliminate waste, and ignite sustainable operational excellence. Elevate your people, accelerate your performance. Visit pinnacleprocess.com and reach your pinnacle today.